What is good, Shelterfest Seattle? My name is Nikkita Oliver. I use they, them pronouns. I am a local artist, organizer, and co-executive director of Creative Justice, an arts-based healing engaged space for young people. We are here today to directly support Black artists and restaurant owners in the greater Seattle area. And we have so many incredible partners that I would love to shout out. We have For Culture, Allied Arts Foundation, Glaziers, Signal Radio, Glassy Baby, and Color Creative. We also have so many dynamic supporters like Miracraft PR, UW Calm Lead Consulting, Hemispheres, Avast Recording Company, Hovercast, Lead Sound, Streamlabs, In the Shed, Youngstown Cultural Arts Center, Sub Pop, ConvergeMedia, South Seattle Emerald, Totem Star, and KEXP. And even more dynamic is this lineup of powerful Black artists that will be gracing our ears. We have Tiffany Wilson, Gifted Gab, Beverly Crusher, Maya Marie, and Black Stax, with guest appearances from Chef Grace Love of Nadine's Kitchen and Chef Trey Lamont of Jerk Shack. I'm actually kind of really hungry. So Trey, I am at Washington Hall. If you would like to drop me off some Jerk Shack, that would be great. I know you love me, one of your favorite customers. And since we're not here just to eat food and hear good music, I have a call to action for you. Shelterfest team has done an incredible job. They have donated their time to make sure that this event is free to stream. So what we're asking you to do is to please invest the value of your ticket in our community. You can do this by supporting the Seattle Artist Relief Fund, paying talent directly, and ordering from Black-owned restaurants in the virtual food truck section. If this isn't the coolest shit ever, you can do all this from our website at shelterfestseattle.com. Again, you can do all of this from our website at shelterfestseattle.com. Now, I know you all have experienced this pandemic and all of the really challenging things that many folks are facing. Artists who are on the forefront of doing really important, needed cultural work in our communities are also, unfortunately, on the front line of experiencing this disaster. The Seattle Artist Relief Fund has done really important work making sure that our local artists, especially our Black and Brown artists, are taken care of and supported throughout this devastating time. You can directly support artists in the greater Seattle area that are affected by the pandemic by donating to the Seattle Artist Relief Fund. This fund focuses specifically on Black, Indigenous, people of color artists, transgender and non-binary artists, and disabled artists. And it's organized by the one and only Ijeoma Oluo and Langston. They've raised and dispersed over $1 million. That is so much money, y'all, $1 million. And they're no longer accepting applications, but they still need to raise over $100,000 to fulfill the needs of applicants on their waiting list. To support from our website, click the button below or visit langstonseattle.org/SARF. Again, that was langstonseattle.org/SARF. And you can include SARF, Shelterfest, as your note so that we know where to direct the funds. If you're watching from KEXP's YouTube channel, you can make a payment directly through the donate button on this video. So those of you watching from KEXP's YouTube channel, you have no reason not to click that button and make a small donation to support Seattle's local Black, Indigenous, people of color artists. Now, the festival, Shelterfest, is directly in line with the goals of the Seattle Artist Relief Fund. The goal is to connect and support Seattle's Black artists and Black restaurant owners. The pandemic has had a massive impact on music and food service industries. And it's important that we figure out how we support our Black artists and restaurant owners, especially as we're not only in the midst of this global pandemic and economic recession, we're also in the midst of a racial justice uprising. We're all over Seattle. People are saying Black Lives Matter. They have signs that say Black Lives Matter. And thousands upon thousands of you have been in the streets marching with the Black Lives Matter movement. So let's do everything we can to support our Black artists and our Black restaurant owners. We have today with Shelter Fest Seattle an all Black lineup. We have virtual food truck section that is featuring local Black-owned restaurants. And we can do all these things together just by being on the internet together, listening to music, engaging social issues, and clicking a button to support and donate to our local Black artists and restaurants. I personally am so blessed to be here today with y'all with the Shelter Fest Seattle. It has been a challenge for a lot of us, even those of us who've been in the streets, who have been organizing, who have been leading the Defund Seattle Police Department campaign and invest in Black communities, to always figure out how in the midst of a global pandemic, we can best support our community and be involved. And this here today with Shelter Fest Seattle is one incredible way to figure out how we can put our money where our mouth is. So let's be a community. And the best part about being community is being involved in discussion with each other. So if you want to be featured on the stream tonight, visit shelterfestseattle.com and send me a message. Or you can tweet at #ShelterFestSeattle. And I would love to be in dialogue with you. Let us know what you're thinking, how you're feeling, you're enjoying the music, what local restaurant you just got food from with our virtual food trucks. There's so many ways to be supporting tonight and to be in community. So please join in on the conversation. And one last thing before we get started, Sub Pop has generously provided us with a dope giveaway package, including $175 worth of vinyl, apparel, stickers, and a tote, because I know how you Seattleites love your totes. So if you want to enter, simply give a minimum of $20 to either the Seattle Artist Relief Fund, Festival Talent, or any of the restaurants featured in our virtual food truck section. And upload your receipt or confirmation through the form found on shelterfestseattle.com. Winners will be announced at the end of day 2, which is tomorrow, with my favorite, Jace from Black Stax, hosting. So again, let's be in community together. Let's support Black artists and let's support Black restaurants while we listen to music and have good conversation. We'll be starting the night with a performance from the one and only Tiffany Wilson. This soul singer extraordinaire has endeared herself to audiences across the United States with magnetic live performances and unflinching honesty. Tiffany draws from a well of inspiration that reflects inner and outer change, politics, and the vision of a brighter future. So stay tuned for our first set after the break.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Wilson, and thank you so much, Shelter Fest, for having me out. I am going to give you a little bit of music today with my good friend Jimmy James and Akinu Musa. This first song is called It'll Catch On. It's just a matter of time, or so it seems. There's no more American dream. We searching through the night, trying to survive with no more finer things. Where we headed? Tell me what's next. What can we make with what we got left? No God above, just the one within, and love is the foundation. How would I describe my music? I feel it changes. It's not that I haven't like found myself or don't know what I like to do. I do know what I like to do. But I also like to try new stuff. I make music that just feels good to me, and if it resonates with any and everyone else, that's awesome. As a black woman, and in blackness, we are music, So I could probably choose whatever I want and be okay. Is Seattle inclusive of its black artists? I will have to say, not really. I think they do believe that they are. I don't know where they get the idea from. They know we're here, but I do sometimes feel like the ones that are elevated are those who emulate our music. I know a ton of really incredible, beautiful black artists, and so often, we have to move. I even moved at one point and just didn't like LA long enough to stay there either and came back. And since being back, it's still been like 10 years before, you get the call. And, but you've sang alongside everyone else who has gotten the call. And somehow your name doesn't come up. Just being truthful, I think people are grasping for ways to feel less guilty, less a part of the problem, less, like the oppressor. And I think black folks have always been, resourceful and we know how to hustle and figure it out. So your help is great, but it's not that we've totally needed it. We've needed you to get your knees off our neck. So supporting us through the pandemic, we'll find food. We just need you to stop killing us, and then we'll be fine. What would I like to say to other black folks? And it's that I love you with all my heart. You know what I'm saying? I will fight for you, die for you. You are me. I understand us. I love you for no reason at all. I don't, I love you because you look like me. I love you because I understand your plight. I love you because I know your resilience. I love you because I know your heart. I love you. That's it. Again, thank you so much, Shelter Fest, for having me and my friends out. This next song is called Okie Doke, and it's just urging you not to fall for it. We've got choices to make, right or wrong. Sometimes doing your own thing makes you strong. When the walls are closing in, hope is gone. You may be on the outskirts and feel you don't belong, but you don't fall for the okie doke. Deep down, you're here to fix what's broken, even if it means you do it all alone, even if it means you do it all alone. Know the seeds that we're planting soon will grow, and with every action you'll reap what you sow. Still you don't fall for the okie doke. We're here to give each other hope, and even if it means you do it all alone, even if it means you do it all alone. Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know that we got to find a way to bring some love in. going on? Somebody tell me now. What's going on? I've got to know what's going on.
Holy shit. Tiffany, that was amazing, family. So good to hear you sing and bring all that heart to us. Much love to you. And if you didn't hear what Tiffany was saying in that interview, she said, stop killing us. Stop killing us. So in addition to donating to Black artists, please be about this movement in defense of Black lives. And Tiffany, I love you too, family. Tiffany has 2 full-length albums, all streaming on all platforms. The first is C# and the second is Music Therapy. Please, please, please go give some streams to my loved one, Tiffany Wilson, an incredible artist, an incredible songwriter. And as you heard in her interview, you know, the music scene here in Seattle is not really that inclusive. And Black artists like Tiffany, who are incredibly talented, who have given so much to our scene, are not necessarily getting the calls they deserve. We can change that as listeners, as an audience, by streaming Black folks' music and supporting their careers and their work. We can be a part of changing that. You might also be able to take home some of her music and our secret flash giveaway. So stay tuned for more info on how to enter. You can pay our Black artists via the handles I'll be giving out tonight. Tiffany's Venmo is at Tiffany, that's TIFFANY -Wilson-8. Again, that's at Tiffany -Wilson-8. Tiffany's PayPal is paypal.me/Tiffany Wilson, capital WA. Again, that's paypal.me/Tiffany Wilson, and that's Wilson with 1 L, capital WA. And Tiffany's Cash App is $Tiffany Wilson Music. That's TIFFANY Music. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Nikkita Oliver. I am your host this evening. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm so excited to be a part of Shelter Fest Seattle, which is directly supporting Black artists and restaurant owners in the greater Seattle area. And before I move on to this next call to action, I also want to remind us that Black liberation and Native sovereignty are inextricably interconnected. So I need to recognize that I am here on Duwamish land in the coastal Salish territories. Our surrounding tribes are the Suquamish, Duwamish, Tulalip, Nisqually, Puyallup, and the Muckleshoot. And to take our land acknowledgements to the next level, it's so important to figure out what our local tribes are doing. What are they moving for? What work are they into? Like the Duwamish Longhouse is trying to get a crosswalk outside the Longhouse so that it's easy to make it to the waterway, because the connection to the planet, to the water, to our animal relatives is so important. So if you can support the Duwamish Longhouse and the work that they're doing, or pay real rent to the Duwamish, that would be dynamic. So I appreciate you. If you're not tuning in from our website, visit shelterfestseattle.com to pay talent directly, order from Black-owned restaurants in our virtual food truck section. That's the coolest shit ever, a virtual food truck. I'm gonna have to hop on there soon. Enter the giveaway and support the Seattle Artist Relief Fund. And they still need to raise over $100,000 to fulfill the needs of applicants on the Seattle Artists Are Really Fun waitlist. And what is so incredible about this Seattle is together we have raised nearly $1 million to support our Black, Indigenous, people of color artists, trans and non-binary artists, and disabled artists. So this is such an important effort. It is an important endeavor, and it's so easy to go click that button. And Beverly Crusher said, seriously though, smash the donate for this if you can. I got a grant early on and it really helped. Thank you so much, Beverly. And I believe Beverly is one of our artists we might hear from later on. But that's so important. Do what you can to support our local artists by visiting shelterfestseattle.com. And you can click the donate button there, or you can also send me a message so we can be in conversation the way community should be. Up next, we have an incredible, dynamic artist that so many of us know of and not enough of us at the same time know of. I'll follow them on Instagram. Gifted Gab, born and raised in the CD, also known as the Central District, grew up with the constant exposure to music. From singing with her mama in the church choir to learning piano at the age of 6, she quickly developed an affinity for memorizing and reciting rap lyrics. Gifted Gab finds inspiration in the lyrical genius of artists such as Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, Bahamadia. I can't believe I can't even get that out my mouth right. And the one and only Tupac. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this message.
Hey everybody, this is Jay from Signal, and I'm in our studios here in Pioneer Square, which is where we are hosting the live stream for this, the very first edition of Shelterfest. We've got Lorenzo and Cosmo and the crew from Shelterfest in the studio with us tonight, and I'd also like to invite you to check out a little conversation I did with those guys recently where we talk about everything that went into putting on the festival this year, as well as the bigger issues at play in our city and beyond. So enjoy the rest of tonight's proceedings because we've got some great performances coming up for you.
Yeah. Ha, it's Gifted Gab. And look, I don't like none of you niggas. Like, at all. But I gotta keep my eye on y'all. So watch how I do this shit. Look. I'ma show your bitches how to get it. She gon' get it too. And she gon' bring it back to me. Spend a couple $100 on a Civic. Look at you. Look, so she could put some miles on it. Mama drama pushing bitches to the limit. Look, why you think I'm so wild, homie? Wild, homie. I don't fuck with bitches cause they foul, homie. Bring your man around so I can style on him. If he the general, then I gon' call him pal on him. And it don't take too much for me to wild on him. So if you see me with him, you know that I on him. I'm never fucking with them, I keep my eye on him. I keep my eye on him. I keep my eye on them. I'm never fucking with them, I keep my eye on them. Why I on them? Cause they my opponent. I'm never fucking with them, I keep my eye on them. I'm never fucking with them, I keep my eye on them. Why I on them? Cause they my opponent. I keep my eye on them. I'm never fucking with them, I keep my look, remain calm like Saddam when I bomb on these hoes. We don't got nothing in common but foes. But when you're talking, your lobotomy shows. I call you niggas pussy cause you look like where a condom should go. I don't need your little comments, ho. This ain't a comedy show. You wanna talk fly? I see you in economy row. In accordance to be important, boy, you gotta be dope. He said he rockin' and he rollin', so I gave him a boat. He said he rockin' and he rollin', so I threw him some coke. And now we rockin' and we rollin', mama, that's not so. Rockin' rollers on the corner trying to cop that dope. Them little niggas taking orders like we got that, bro. I keep my eye on them. I keep my eye on them. I'm never fucking with them. I keep my eye on them. Why I on them? Cause they my opponent. I'm never fucking with them. I keep my eye on them. I keep my eye on them. I'm never fucking with them. I keep my eye on them. Cause they my opponent. I'm never fucking with them. I keep my eye I'm never fucking with them niggas like an uppity nigga. Trust me, I'd love to get it up with you niggas, but listen, I'm risking my chips and spit this ism at you fucking new niggas. Niggas in prison cause they never talk. The game sold and it served cold. Know what you getting into before you flip on that stove. Is it beneficial to your cash flow? Who you think you is? Shit, Donnie Brasco. My niggas push weight when they bypass his gastro. Baby, I'm like Castro, I'm a fucking asshole. You could blame my mama, I've been flavin' since a tadpole. I done been through hell and I ain't never met a damn soul. So you can't tell me where I can't go. That's why I keep my eyes on these guys. My G's ride, we been taking lives since knee high, take no bribes. What type of nigga don't like thick thighs and fish fries? Blunts to the sky, we get live on this side. I'm like 5'2", but I feel like 6'5". Cruising down the bayou up in the 6'5". Niggas wanna try you till I make a slide move. Told my niggas slide through, got 30 niggas like 6'5". I keep my eye on them, I keep my eye on them, yeah, I keep my eye on them. I'm never fucking with them. I keep my eye on them cause they my opponent. Yeah, I keep my eye on them. I'm never fucking with them. I keep my eye on them cause they my opponent. I'm never fucking with them. I keep my eye on them. Yeah, I keep my eye on them. Yeah, I keep my eye on them. I'm never fucking with them. I keep my eye on them. Why eye on them? Cause they my opponent. I'm never fucking with them. I keep my eye on them. I keep my eye on them. Yeah, I keep my eye on them. I'm never fucking with them. I keep my eye on them cause they my opponent. I'm never fucking with them. I keep my eye on them. I am Gifted Gab. I'm born and raised in Seattle, Washington, this area specifically, the Central District, right up the street on 23rd. I definitely embody where I'm from, and especially what the city used to be, not the new city. I'm very much what the old and the original Central District used to be. My experience as a black artist in Seattle would be, that's a good question. You know, Seattle has its issues as far as gentrification and all that stuff like that, so it definitely affects the scene and the people in it. So, you know, before a lot of us were living in this area, now we no longer can, to the point where some people, you know, had to leave the state. If you're black and you're from Seattle, you're going to know it because we're going to let you know it, you know what I'm saying? But, like, we're a very tight-knit group. Like, we all know each other. We're all friends. We're all pretty supportive of each other. Like, it's a really dope thing. We are the ones that push the culture forward. Like, people look to black artists specifically for, like, what's cool, what's hot. What are we talking about this year? What are we wearing this year? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people are looking to us to be like, okay, so what are we going to do next? Like, there's no live shows. There's no this and that. What are y'all going to come up with? It's like, on top of all the stress and all the things that are happening in life, we're also responsible to figure out how we're about to navigate moving forward. Every other day, it's something about, you know, my people being killed or mistreated or something. So it really does take a toll. I wouldn't even say specifically musically, just, you know, your self-esteem and, like, the way you live life, you know what I'm saying? To the black people watching, first I would say, what's good, y'all? Second, I would say, take care of your mental health. Try not to let everything that's going on bring you down, because in life, things get worse before they get better. We're just getting through a rough patch right now, and things are going to get better. And I also like to add one thing specifically. It's my homeboy Sammy, his corner store. It's called the Jackson General Store. Him and his family own it. They need some help right now. They have a GoFundMe page. Please support. If you can't support monetarily, post it. Tell people about it. Like, it's really, really important. There's not many, you know, staples in the Central District anymore because they are getting wiped out by gentrification. Yeah, man, let's just keep supporting our black people and keep supporting people of color and the people that are basically, like I said, trying to push the culture forward and save whatever little bit of, like, swag we got left. Hey. What's up, Shelter Fest? Shouts out to Bad Habit Media shooting this thing. What's up, D. Anthony? Come on, let's get it. Hey. Love. Grind hard, it pays off. Grind hard, no days off. Yeah, if you grind hard, it pays off. Look, just grind hard, no days off. You wanna make it, baby girl, you gotta pay homage. I see you reaching for fame, but mommy, you lack knowledge. There's all these politics, every night we ain't frolicking. Popping bottles with ballin' men, all these bitches got collagen. I'm in the studio polishing up my passion. Hoping and grinding and hoping this brings cash. Look, I'm staying focused, but sometimes it gets hard. As soon as you on your job, relationships fall apart. And all that faking shit can leave you really scarred. Basically what I'm saying is you haters need a job, I'm raising the fucking bar. So all that subpar mediocre shit is over with. The pro with this, y'all. I'm raw, I'm on a sushi roll. And I ain't never gave a fuck about no groupie hoe. I did it all on my own, ain't show with no coochie though. The queen is back on the throne, I'm hoping these hoochies know that I'm just smoking, sitting here thinking about taking over the world. I've been racing, over here chasing dreams I'm making, true for your girl. Cause why? Look, if you grind hard, it pays off. Look, just grind hard, no days off. If you grind hard, it pays off. Look, just grind hard, no days off. This shit goes out to all my hustlers just trying to make a living while serving product to customers. A lot of people don't understand what it means to be a black man or a one man in a world that's so inhuman. If you manage to maintain, then do that, you owe none. Go hard, you'll go far and know where you came from. Save the ones that came up from the bottom when you wasn't even thought of. Now I'm looking like the man and it's a problem. Now I'm everybody's sister, everybody's cousin. I be everywhere you wasn't. Hide your drugs and hide your husband. I be buzzing through my city. My more gay niggas with me. You call me, bet I'm busy. Rolling up that sticky icky. Ha. Grind hard, play harder. I done son so many niggas, I don't even need a daughter. See, I be saying shit that you ain't never even thought of. I was born to be a queen, cause that's the way that I was brought up. Now I'm just smoking, sitting here thinking about taking over the world. I've been racing, over here chasing dreams I'm making, true for your girl. Cause why? Look, if you grind hard, it pays off. Grind hard, no days off. If you grind hard, it pays off. Just grind hard, no days off. If you grind hard, it pays off. Just grind hard, no days off. If you grind hard, it pays off. Just grind hard, no days off.
Man, that's the truth. I know every black artist knows that if you grind hard, it pays off. Grind hard, no days off. Y'all, Gifted Gab is not one to sleep on. So just so you could check out all of her music, go to giftedgabmusic.com. She's making waves with her duo, Blimes and Gab. And if you don't follow them on Instagram, y'all are missing out. These two are hilarious. So go follow Gifted Gab. Follow Blimes and Gab, and if you didn't notice, that stands for bag. Their album, Talk About It, is available on all streaming platforms. If you want to support black artists, one way to do that is to stream our music. Payment handles for Gifted Gab are Venmo at gifted_Gab. Gifted is spelled Gifted, in case you didn't know. _Gab is GAB, and CashApp is $1. The number Gifted G, because Gifted Gab is a G. Again, that was $1, the number 1, Gifted G. And if you don't know, I am Nikkita Oliver, your host. I use they, them pronouns, and now you know. This is Shelterfest Seattle. We're directly supporting black artists and restaurant owners in the greater Seattle area. And I just want to remind y'all that a part of this is to raise funds for the Seattle Artist Relief Fund, which has given out thousands of dollars to support our Black, Indigenous, people of color artists, trans and non-binary artists, and disabled artists across the city. And I would probably say in the whole county, King County. And it's so important that we make sure our artists are well cared for, because we know in this time of talking about Black Lives Matter, it is our cultural workers, those who make music, write articles, write books, make visuals and images that help shift the culture so we can get the policy shifts that we want. They create the images that accompany our movements in the streets. So it's so important to support our artists. I also want to remind folks that happening right now outside of Numos, there is a vigil happening for Marquise Patterson, who was shot and killed on the night that Biden and Harris were declared the winners of this most recent election. And there's a GoFundMe to support Marquise. And it's just so important to remember that there are so many Black folks in our city that could use your support, could use you organizing, use you participating in the streets if you're given. I know we're in a global pandemic, But just bear in mind, there's a lot of ways to be involved in the movement for Black lives. And if you want to continue supporting the work of the Seattle Artist Relief Fund, you can do that by going to our website for today. And you can support at shelterfestseattle.com, or you can go to langstonseattle.org/SARF. Again, that was langstonseattle.org/SARF. And please include a note that says SARF Shelterfest as a note so that we know who to give the funds to directly. And if you're watching from KEXP's YouTube channel, they made it easy for you. You can make a payment directly by clicking on the donate button on this video right now. And, just to encourage you also, we know that Governor Inslee on Monday might be putting new restrictions on restaurants. And if that's the case, then our Black-owned restaurants are going to be in desperate need of your support. So go visit the virtual food trucks, because that's hella dope. And you can go to our shelterfestseattle.com website for more information, ways to support, giveaway entry instructions, and they got some great giveaways. And you can get on the chat box to send me a message and be featured on the stream. I know you're excited about that because conversation is community. And I see right now Lorenzo has been commenting on these incredible interviews that Black artists have been sharing their stories, their experiences as Black artists in the Seattle area and what that's like. I really hope you're listening to what those stories are telling us, and you're thinking of ways that you could be supporting the Black music scene, the Black visual arts scene, and everything that Black artists contribute to our city. I'm here right now in the Central District at Washington Hall in the Creative Justice Classroom, where we employ mostly Black and brown artists. So it's really important that we find ways to continue supporting folks. Next up, we have Chef Grace Love, who will speak through a first-hand exclusive interview. And Chef Grace Love is a multi-talented artist and chef who expresses herself through music and food. She'll be performing her music on day 2 with Jace from Stax hosting. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. It's going to be a really exciting day to keep up on.
Hi, my name is Grace Love, and I am the owner of Nadine's Kitchen, and I'm an artist. The food that I cook is based on Southern soul traditions, like Deep South stuff. My mom was from West Memphis, Arkansas. My dad was from Monroe, Louisiana. I was born in Memphis, and I kind of just take a lot of what I grew up with and I put a little Pacific Northwest flair, making it vegan, but it's not all vegan, believe me. I like my bacon. So that's that. My food is the one thing that I can do for me that doesn't require anxiety or diving into anything that I don't know how to do. It's just kind of second nature. And so when I cook, it makes me feel whole and I just get to create some amazing dishes. Whereas when I prep for a show, I got to be on point. And that's always tough sometimes. But in the kitchen, I can just be myself. I actually started Nadine's Kitchen about 6 years ago. And it started as a dinner and a show. And I want to continue that model for the rest of time. But when COVID hit, it just kind of ruined everybody's life, but specifically mine, because both of my mediums were in different places. So I'm just trying to find the balance. And right now, food is winning. People want to eat. You can't really do shows unless it's, socially distanced. And that's not how my shows work. I want you to get sweaty and weird with strangers and feel something. So in order for me to do that now, I just want you to break bread. I want you to stay nourished. And that's kind of how I look at it now. I'm just giving you a different way to be satisfied. My identity is just, it's all over the place, for one thing. I'm in every box. I check every box. I'm a woman. I'm Black, if you didn't notice. You can't tell, but I'm queer as hell. Everybody expects me to cook soul food. But then I put out eggplant parmesan, or I put out a, collard green risotto, and they're like, oh, wait a minute. So yeah, I get to break rules and I get to do my best to break boundaries, but sometimes it's very hard. Black people don't get the same resources as other people do. We are looked down on and like, oh, that business model has been done before. Why do you think yours is special? And there's so many more hoops. And people don't realize that. Like, I have owned this business for 6 years, and maybe 2 years ago, I got a little bit of funding. And that's because I begged and kind of pleaded. And now I'm like, okay, I need more funding. And the doors are still closed. So yeah, it's been really hard. Luckily, people still like to eat. So I just, instead of doing anything fancy, I just kind of simplified my menu, and which hurts because I want to show everybody really good stuff like, stuffed cornbread with chorizo and zucchini. But, if they don't want to eat that, I will make them a turkey pesto sandwich. Right here. This is Grace's moneymaker. It is my Soul Drop biscuit mix. So it's an old family recipe, and we've switched up the lard and the water for butter and milk, because we're classy. And it is online on my website, which is nadinessoulkitchen.com. And you can order one, or you can join a monthly membership where you get one a month, and I send you a special recipe and a special savory or sweet additive for this. So just support me. For me, this is the one thing I know that is going to make my world a whole lot different. It's whole wheat, it's organic, but it's good. I'm not lying, it's good. Like, I know I see you Black people out there going, organic and whole wheat. No, it's good, I promise you. I promise you. To specifically my Black queer woman, you can do anything. You are magic. Magic was made from you. You are the Eve. You are where life created and began and will begin again. Just keep your head up.
Thank you so much, Chef Grace Love, for all those important reminders. I love the affirmations for our Black queer women and femmes. You are indeed magic. I also want to encourage my Black queer peoples, my Black trans peoples, get some rest. Like, this world is stressful enough for us, so really take care of yourselves. Be about that good food that Chef Grace Love was talking about. Get it in your body. Whatever that soul food is for you, please get that in yourself. Warms my heart to hear all that Chef Grace was talking about. Support Nadine's Kitchen by ordering Soul Drop Biscuit Mix at nadinessoulkitchen.com. Let me spell that for y'all. It's Nadine's, Nadines, Soul, Soul, Kitchen, KITCHEN.com. Nadine's Soul Kitchen. Please order that Soul Drop Biscuit Mix. And again, in case you don't know, my name is Nikkita Oliver. I am your host for this evening, and I use they, them pronouns, and we're here for ShelterFest Seattle, directly supporting Black artists and restaurant owners in the greater Seattle area. And I want to remind you, we have some dope shit happening, like a virtual food truck. You can go and you can look at our virtual food truck at shelterfestseattle.com. We have some featured restaurants. We have Fats Chicken and Waffles. They got Southern style, New Orleans influence restaurant focusing on authentic and natural ingredients in the heart of the Central District. And they're giving 15% off to ShelterFest viewers if you call in your order. So again, that's Fats Chicken and Waffles. And if you call in your order and you're a ShelterFest viewer, you'll get 15% off. As soon as I finish recording with y'all, I'm gonna need to hop on my phone. But we also have Island Soul Rum Bar and Soul Shack, which is a family business located in Columbia City, serving Caribbean-inspired soul food. And if you haven't had their drinks, y'all, you haven't had a drink. So please check out Island Soul, Rum Bar, and Soul Shack. We have Boon Boona Coffee located in Renton. It is a cafe sourcing and delivering specialty coffee from Ethiopia and Rwanda, and they will donate $5 to every bag of coffee ordered with the code ShelterFest. And an order of $20 or more qualifies you for a giveaway. So visit our website for instructions on how to enter. Now, I just want to engage some of y'all in the audience. Rachel says, I love Grace Love's music, such a strong, beautiful voice. I love Grace Love too. I love everything they said about food. Got me mad hungry, Rachel. And Jeff, I love you too. Jeff says that they wish I was their mayor, and I'm super honored and humbled every time somebody says that. Thank you so much, Seattle, for continuing to show up for our Black artists, our Black restaurants, and also our Black elected officials. We have some new ones like Kirsten Harris-Talley, who's going to be showing up and throwing down for us in Olympia. Jesse Johnson, who will also be showing up and throwing down for us in Olympia. So that's really exciting. And I want to encourage y'all, if you want to be in conversation with me, or maybe even in conversation with other people, because that's what builds community, stop through shelterfest.com and send a message in. Or you can do hashtag ShelterFest Seattle and see what other people are thinking about the festival so far. Our Seattle Artist Relief Fund is a major part of why we're doing this today. And the fund will be giving out about $1 million of relief to our local Black, Indigenous, people of color artists, our queer and trans artists and non-binary artists, and we'll be supporting our disabled artists. And this is such an important fund. And we need to raise $100,000 more to reach that $1 million mark, because there are still folks on the waiting list. And it's just so important in the midst of this pandemic and this uprising for justice, as we talk about the importance of honoring, supporting, and caring for Black lives. We find ways that we can be contributing to our cultural workers, who are a major part of building our movements, giving us images, music to bring us together. So please support the Seattle Artist Relief Fund and the incredible work that they've been doing since day one in this pandemic. Ijeoma just put it out there in the world, put a GoFundMe out there, and y'all helped make it possible. So let's get to that $1 million mark. We have Beverly Crusher coming up. Beverly is a Seattle-based acid punk band with ruthless guitar vocals from Coswell Wilson, backed by pedal to the metal bass playing and volcanic drumming from Max and Sam Styles. That's Beverly Crusher, formed in 2014. The trio offers heavy, high energy rock that's guaranteed to make your ears smirk. I don't know who wrote that, but make your ears smirk is like the best line I've read today. So stay tuned for Beverly Crusher after this message.
Thank you for tuning in to ShelterFest and for supporting Seattle's Black and brown artists and small businesses. My name is Omari Salisbury. I'm the founder of ConvergeMedia. Some of you guys might know me for my coverage of Seattle's Black community. What you might not know is that ConvergeMedia was started to amplify as well as curate Black content, that's video and audio, to our audience across the Pacific Northwest. Make sure and check us out at whereweconverge.com or across social media at WWConverge. Just a reminder to please donate, make sure you order some of that food, and share the stream.
Yo, what's up, ShelterFest? We're Beverly Crusher. This song is called Give Me the Power. is Tiffany Wilson, and I play guitar in Beverly Crusher. I also sing, and I love my bandmates. Our music is kind of all over the place. I like to say it's like punky, rocky. I don't know. It's crazy. We were calling it acid punk for a while because it's just like a nice blanket term for I don't know how to explain it, but it's tight. I think it's tight. I think that it's always important to support Black artists. Always, always. But during the pandemic, I feel that in Seattle, like we were coming, people were starting to pay attention, and there's so many good Black bands that are like steamrolling the scene. Like we got Barracks, we got the Black Tones, Black Ends, and like it was coming so quick, and like dang, everybody's kind of blowing up. And then the pandemic hit, and it's like we still need to support that. Don't forget. I feel like the Black Lives Movement it's a movement, but like for me, it's everyday life. So it's like it was always affected me, but now other people are like more on board than they've ever been. Even before like the first time that Black Lives Matters like started popping, and I was like, I don't like, are you guys gonna be here in a month? But like now, like months and months and months removed, people are still like just as down as they were, which is kind of shocking. So like, but it's always been there for me. So like nobody has to tell me that Black Lives Matter because Black people've got our back, but there's a lot of people that don't have our back, and it's weird navigating this, but like stay diligent, stay creative, stay aware of your surroundings, stay safe, and buy Bitcoin. Invest in your financial situation, because like we give an inch, they take a mile. So like we should be putting ourselves in situations to win. If I could talk to myself from 10 years ago, I would say exercise, take your blood pressure medication, buy Bitcoin. Don't stop yourself from doing anything because you don't feel like you have enough. Like whatever you have is what you have, and do what you will with what you have, and get it popping. Thank you. Woo! And now back to our scheduled programming. This song is called Falling Knives.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 6, 6. It will be fine, 'cause I color in the lines, but I don't like myself.
Thank you, Shelter Fest. We're Beverly Crusher.
Yes, Beverly Crusher. Okay, I didn't know, but now I know. I love Black people. You know why? Because we are not a monolith. Like, we do so many incredible things and say so much dope shit. Like, Black Lives Matter is a movement, but for me, it's everyday life. Like, if every Black person I know has not said that, and we are so happy that so many people have like started to join us in the streets and have been consistent for the last few months. What I want to know is, now that Biden Harris won, how many of y'all are going to stay plugged in, Seattle? Don't get all liberal on us. Hang in there. Black people ain't free yet. We need Black liberation, like for real. So thank you, Beverly Crusher. The other thing I got out of that is what you have is enough. What you have is enough. So let's take all of our enough that we have together and redistribute it to Black artists and restaurants so we can make sure folks are able to survive and thrive post this pandemic. So I want to show some love to Beverly Crusher. You can check out their latest album, Candy Crusher, released by Den Tapes, and you can slide them some money with their payment handles are Venmo at Sustainable Shred. Sustainable is spelled SUSTA. Wait, let me start over. I can't even spell. SUSTAINABLESHRED. Sustainable Shred. You know, like how you like shred a guitar. Fun stuff. And in case you still don't know, but you've been watching the live stream the whole time, or maybe you're new, I'm Nikkita Oliver. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm so excited to be here hosting Shelter Fest Seattle, which is directly supporting Black artists and restaurant owners in the greater Seattle area. Y'all, this is some dope shit to really be bringing together artists and performers and making sure that we can take care of people. This is what it's about. This is what community is about. And when we talk about things like defunding the police, to be honest, we're also talking about investing in community like we're doing tonight, making sure people have what they need, because when people have what they need and are well cared for, then we can take care of each other. I want to remind y'all that there are some giveaways, and there are ways to join those giveaways. We have $175 worth of vinyl, apparel, stickers, and totes. Yes, totes from Sub Pop. So how do you access this great giveaway? Well, you give a minimum of $20 to either the Seattle Artist Relief Fund, Festival Talent, or any of the restaurants featured in our virtual food truck section. And you just upload your receipt or confirmation through the form found on shelterfestseattle.com. Again, that is shelterfestseattle.com. And our winners will be announced at the end of day 2, which is tomorrow, with our host, Jace from Black Stax. Anyone who joins the giveaway during today's show will also be entered to win our Flash Artist giveaway package with music and merch from artists in our lineup, including Tiffany Wilson, Barax, Gifted Gab, and one of my favorite artists in all of Seattle, Rel B. Free. We have some folks commenting in. I just want to give a shout out to Da Queen, who will be on tomorrow in day 2 of Shelter Fest, who says, we are getting all the moods tonight. And I love it. I love getting all the moods because I am a moody Aquarius sun, Pisces moon, Scorpio rising. Yes, I went there. Y'all know you needed to know my chart. And Danny says, cannot wait until we get to go to live shows again. Danny, I can't wait either. I can't wait. But until then, we have incredible nights like the one we're having tonight with Shelter Fest Seattle. Up next, we have Maya Marie. With a powerhouse, soulful voice and intricate guitar rhythms, Maya Marie combines the essence of folk and rock, producing a unique sound completely of her own. So don't miss Maya Marie after this message.
Hey everybody, this is Jay from Signal, and I'm in our studios here in Pioneer Square, which is where we are hosting the live stream for this, the very first edition of Shelter Fest. We're all about creating a platform here at Signal for diverse voices and emerging independent artists, from our unfiltered podcasts and interviews to our in-studio performances. So enjoy the rest of tonight's proceedings, because we've got some great performances coming up for you.
Hi, I'm Maya Miri, and thank you Shelterfest and everybody who's watching. And this song is called Our Time. How do we get here? There's a heart against the wall. Where do we go now? Now that we lost control. How do you feel now? Now that we let it go. This isn't over. There's more than just war. Now it's our time. Oh, it's our time to move along. Now it's our time. Oh, it's our time to sing this song, baby. Do you believe in what cannot be seen? The storm passes over, and I'm on my feet. Over and over, it rings through me. Yeah, yeah. Now it's our time. Oh, it's our time to move along. Now it's our time. Oh, it's our time to sing this song, baby. Being a Seattle musician that's also of color that also plays rock and roll it's different. I mean, come on. What does Seattle have? It's like just it's not bad, but I love it. I look up to the scene of Seattle, but you see a lot of, Caucasian bands. It's Caucasian boy band, and it's just them, and they're getting the plays, they're getting the shows, and like I mean, the Seattle grunge scene, it was very heavily, it's heavy. If you look at them all, it's like they're all white guys. Like it's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but there is a lot of things that aren't talked about that are the black community and the black artists that are making things. Seattle's been good to me. That's one thing I could say. It's always good to play shows in Seattle. I just wish people would dance more. Seattle, if y'all don't dance when this is all over, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, we all gotta dance. The question was what again? How Black Lives Matter has affected my music. It's funny because it's already it's hard to say. Y'all are just the ones figuring it out. I'm sorry. Like, this ain't news to me. Okay. It's always affected me. It's like this since I was born. Like so you notice those little subtleties. You notice something's different. You notice how people treat you different. You notice that you're in the store and think, somebody's following you around. It's real. That's just real. That's the realness of it. Yeah, Black Lives Matter, the movement that is the goal. As far as it affecting me, I'm just saying it's not supposed to affect me. It's supposed to affect everybody else. Being stereotyped as an artist, it's hard, but I'm going to do it all. So y'all better be ready. I'm going to have a rock and roll album. I'm going to have a rap album. I'm working on like R&B rap album. I'm going to have a country album. Y'all are just going to have that because, variety. Why not? What would I tell myself 10 years ago? I don't know. Nothing. I wouldn't tell myself anything. I wouldn't give away the surprise of it all. The most important thing I would tell myself is that I love you. I would tell myself that I love you. If I could look myself in the eyes as a 25-year-old and look my 15-year-old self in the eye and be like, I love you. I think that would be it. Just finding that self-love within yourself. That's the main goal there. To my colored sisters and my beautiful brothers, kings and queens out there watching, you are loved. You are excellent. And we ain't done making it happen yet. Come together, please. All my brothers and sisters, let's all be one together. And let's spread that love. Let's spread that love that we grew up with and have for ourselves and that we have to appreciate for ourselves. Let's spread that to each other and everybody else. That's what I have to say. Thank you for watching Shelterfest. This song is called No Good.
On your shoulder comes between us. Try to roll it over, but it's too rough. Touching me, it feels just like a bleach stain. You're no good for me, oh no good for me. You're no good for me. Time to leave. You're no good for me. Like a monkey on your back, have a heart attack. Not giving no slack, gonna fight back. Enough of your ways, you're a tragedy. You're not good for me, oh no good for me. You're not good for me. Time to leave. You're no good for me. Well, I hate the way you talk and the way you stare. Games that you play, a nightmare. I found all the gold and it's inside of me. You won't let me be, oh, won't you let me be? You're no good for me. Set me free now, baby. You're no good for me. Like a monkey on your back, have a heart attack. Like a monkey on your back, have a heart attack. Like a monkey on your back, have a heart attack.
My goodness, can Maya Marie sing? Wow. Y'all got me feeling like I need to like break my guitar back out, try to see what can happen, especially since Governor Inslee saying Monday we might be back in lockdown. Maya Marie got me inspired. I might have to come up out of lockdown, doing some rock soul tunes. That shit is wild. And I just want to, us to think about a couple of things that Maya Marie said. The first was Black Lives Mattering is not news. This is true. This is true. We've been trying to tell y'all this for a while, but she also said spread that love. So let's be spreading love to each other today. And the way we're going to do that is through Shelterfest and donating to our local Black artists and buying food from Black restaurants. If you were really digging what Maya Marie was doing, and even if you weren't, I hope you'll send her some love. You could do that by buying her music on Bandcamp, or you can Venmo at Maya, MAY Marie, MARIE music. Again, that was Maya Marie music. That is her Venmo handle. And my name is Nikkita Oliver. I am your host today for day one of Shelterfest. And we are here to directly support Black artists and restaurant owners in the greater Seattle area. And it's a very exciting time in our show for me this evening. I get to talk to you about one of my favorite organizations in the Seattle area. I might be a little biased because I am the co-executive director of Creative Justice, which is an arts-based organization that provides a healing, engaged space for young people to speak truth to power, to do that much needed healing work that art allows us to do, and to dismantle the criminal punishment system and build the kind of care, supportive, compassionate community we need to make sure that young people never end up in cages. And I just want to tell you, community, that is our responsibility, to be taking care of all of our children. There's absolutely no reason for any of our kids to be in the school to prison pipeline or fall into punitive criminal systems. We really should be looking at every single child as our own, each one teach one. Let's care for all of our babies. But we know that Black youth, brown youth, Native youth are disproportionately represented in the criminal punishment system here in King County. How does that align with the mission of ShelterFest? Well, I want to tell you, when young people have the tools that they need and the resources that they need and the supportive communities that allow them to grow and thrive, we can dismantle and disrupt the school to prison pipeline, and we can ensure that all of our babies, all of our children, all of our young people stay in our community care. And Creative Justice is all about supporting young people and developing not just their creative skills and their healing medicine, but also their entrepreneurial skills. Being an artist is a way to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. So if you feel so inclined, follow Creative Justice NW on Instagram, and you can even donate. We have these really dope shirts that say abolitionist that we made with Kaisa Fit that can be bought this weekend. And for all of my abolitionists out there, we are in this work till collective liberation and beyond. We have a few folks that have chimed in, so I'd love to be in conversation with you. Nicole wants to know if I sleep, that this is a great set. I do sleep, maybe not enough, but it is wintertime, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably about to hibernate, y'all, as many of us Seattleites are. I hope you're taking your vitamin D vitamins, your vitamin K, taking care of yourself, drinking that water. It's important. And Nathan Smith says, Maya's a blessing to the world. I absolutely agree. That whole set was fabulous, from the vocals to the guitar to the lyrics. I'm going to have to hop on Maya Marie's Bandcamp. And just want to encourage y'all again, send Maya Marie some love. Venmo is Maya-Marie-Music. We are today raising funds for the Seattle Artist Relief Fund. And they still need $100,000. Once they have that $100,000, they'll be able to give money to artists that are on the wait list, which means that by then, $1 million of relief will have been given out to Seattle's artists. This is such an incredible thing that's happening. This is what mutual aid looks like. This is what it looks like when community comes together and redistributes resources to each other. What we have is enough, especially if we're willing to share it. You can go to our website at shelterfestseattle.com for more information, for ways to support, and giveaway entry instructions. There's also a chat box on there to send me a message and be featured on our stream. I would love to be in conversation with you. Next up, we have another one of my favorite chefs in the city, Trey Lamont. We'll get to hear an exclusive interview from Trey, who's been making big moves in our community. Born and raised in Seattle. We don't hear that a lot, so we definitely got to uplift our Seattle born and raised. Chef Trey Lamont is the owner and head chef at Jerk Shack, the only 100% Black-owned restaurant in downtown Seattle. Holy shit, that's a big deal. The menu is inspired by Lamont's Jamaican heritage, with a focus on made-from-scratch cooking using house-ground spices, smoked and fried to perfection. Don't miss our conversation with Chef Trey after this break.
My name is Trey Lamont, and I'm the chef and owner of Jerk Shack, and I'm born and raised here in Seattle. The Jerk Shack is the only 100% Black-owned restaurant in downtown Seattle at the moment, and we represent Caribbean fare, not just Jamaican fare. We do have other islands flavors mixed into our menu, but this is the place where you can get great flavors and a great vibe. And you come here and you're gonna go, I love this place. America was built on the backs of slaves, but those slaves had to be cooks as well. And the techniques and the skills and the flavor profiles that they knew came from Africa through the Caribbean, then the southern United States. Now, Caribbean food is nothing but American Southern food, but with different ingredients. That's the history of our country. All the paintings in here are done by local Black artists. Some artists are from Jamaica, some are from Haiti, some are from Puerto Rico, some are from Seattle, some are from Gambia. They get to put their art up in here, and I don't take a red cent of that art sale, and it sells like crazy. If you look at the writing on the wall where it says jerk next to my lion, Gifted Gab painted that. We employ artists, and I support that, you know. I think it's our duty to help support each other in each other's ventures. I think that the word artist gets pigeonholed to people painting or drawing or sculpting, right? And I believe art is a way to live life. And I choose to be an artist, front and back, right? What you see on your plate is gonna be art. What you taste in your mouth is gonna be art. What you hear come out of my mouth is gonna be art. It's gonna be beautiful, and it's gonna always have a wow factor. The reason why I think that we're the only Black-owned restaurant in downtown Seattle is unfair banking practices. It's very hard for African Americans in the United States, period, not just in Seattle, to get a loan, especially for a restaurant, because the profit margins are very slim. And, you know, we could have equal or better credit score than our white counterparts, and we could be denied for a loan. African American owned businesses employ more African Americans than the United States government. And what's sad about that is we don't own shit. We don't own anything in the United States. We don't own enough land, we don't own enough businesses. So for us to be the #1 employer for African American people, that is a horrifying statistic. The Jerk Shack Seattle Land Fund is a GoFundMe that is asking the community to donate money so that when we open our next location, we will buy the land that we are occupying. 49% of that land that we purchase will go back to community members that do a buy-in program. So community members that live in that neighborhood, in the Black and brown community, will be allowed to own that land so that there's generational wealth building amongst that. If we don't invest in our communities and education and the things that we want and value in our community, then what else is there going to be? There's no ethics in that. So if you're just thinking about money, then I think that you're going to always lose.
Welcome back, Shelter Fest. That was such an important interview and message that we heard from Chef Trey Lamont about not just donating our money towards making sure people can survive right now, but the importance of land and making sure that we actually have generational wealth to pass down, which is something Black communities, Black peoples have not had opportunity to have here in the United States on Turtle Island. And so how can we really invest in Black peoples? Well, we could both pay the fee and free the land, as King County Equity Now has been pointing us towards. If you want to support the vision that Chef Trey Lamont just told us about, visit the GoFundMe for the Jerk Shack Seattle Land Fund. to support generational wealth building in Black and Brown communities. I'm Nikkita Oliver. I am your host for day one of Shelter Fest. I'm super excited to be here as we are directly supporting Black artists and restaurant owners in the greater Seattle area. And for those of you watching on YouTube, we have raised $1,000 in the last 90 minutes. That's super exciting. We need to raise $100,000. Maybe not tonight, but that'd be dope if we did it tonight in order to help the Seattle Artist Relief Fund give out funds to artists who are currently on the waiting list. Once those funds are raised and given out, that means that the Seattle Artist Relief Fund will have given out $1 million of relief to our local artists, Black, Indigenous, people of color, trans and non-binary artists, and disabled artists. That is such an incredible endeavor, and it is such a beautiful thing to do. That's what mutual aid looks like and community support looks like. So thank you to those of you who have already donated and to those of you who will in the future. I want to do some audience discussion. We have from Cosmo, hey Nikkita, I'm a huge fan of the work you're doing with Creative Justice. Are there any artists that have gone through the program that we can check out online? I mean, we have some creative artists, incredible artists who have actually supported the program. Folks like Delisha Phillips, who used to be in a group called Side Pony. Jace from Black Stax, who will be hosting tonight, is one of our mentor artists. Rel Be Free, who will be performing tomorrow, has also been an artist. We have many young artists that are working with Mama Nikki, who will be putting out a podcast at the end of this session. So sometime around mid-December, they'll be putting out a podcast that'll have original music from artists that are in creative justice, as well as some different stories, news, culture, ideas that the young people have been curating in their own podcast. So I'll make sure that gets out to y'all, and that'll be in mid-December. So thank you, Cosmo, for asking that question. And Nicole says, is Creative Justice still working with youth at juvenile court right now? How do we refer? Yes. Now, Nicole PD, that PD makes more sense, public defender. Yeah, we're still partnering with young people who are liberating themselves from the criminal punishment system. So these are youth who may have active cases that they're currently fighting. And we do the work of not only supporting them through the process, but providing really important opportunities for mitigation. For young people who need that kind of support, you can refer them through our website at www.creativejusticenw.com, and there's a referral form on the website. If the referral form for some reason doesn't work for you, email us at creativejusticenw@gmail.com, and one of our staff members will partner with you to get that referral through and to support that young person. If you're a young person watching this live stream and you want to be involved in an arts organization that not only connects you to professional teaching artists that are currently in the industry, but also want to get paid for your time, we provide weekly stipends to young people, even those who self-refer. You don't have to have an active court case to participate. You could just be a youth who's like, it would be good for me to be in a place where I make art and I get paid. That's what we do. Go to our website, hop on our Instagram, or send us an email. We would love to partner with you and get you involved in our next session. If you have other young people that are currently fighting charges in the criminal punishment system, other organizations you might want to reach out to are Community Passageways and Choose 180 are also organizations that support our youth in liberating themselves from the criminal punishment system. Thank you for asking that question. Really excited to continue partnering with our community on this. And up next, we have one of my favorite duos in the city. I consider these two folks inspirations for me. They are mentors to myself. They encourage me. They hold me accountable. They call me in and call me out. I'm so excited to begin to introduce Black Stax. They have a sound that blends and bends the musical genre of blues, jazz, R&B, and hip hop. Like Miles Davis, Etta James, and Langston Hughes mixed with hip hop and neo soul, their music carries a message of social justice and community upliftment. Don't miss Black Stax, coming to you right after this message.
On behalf of my colleagues at ConvergeMedia, I want to say thank you for tuning in to Shelter Fest. Also want to remind you to make sure and donate, order some of that good food, and share the stream.
We are Black Stax.
Full effect.
Live Shelter Fest.
All the way.
2020.
Thank you, thank you. Ghost.
Calling on the energy.
Cover me.
Calling on our
Help
ancestors.
Me. Assist me.
Calling on those that have gone before us.
Appreciate
Please, please help us in these times. Please
you
cover
do one
me.
thing. Cover me.
I'm asking for something higher to get rid of all these fires, to clear the air, to show the care, to show the fight of why we're here. I'm saying I wanna live, but what do I have to give? My ribs are these kids, my children. Are we building? No, I'm not no ghost like Casper. I'm more in the spirit of the Jasper. 8 with legacies, realities, brutalities daily. My resilience isn't silent. My residency is heaven sent. In the land of milk and honey, some chasing money. My reflection is no direction. My fault is I'm in the vault with no value on how you never get caught. Now I'm floating, now I'm quoting. No rhetoric, just routine. No butcher, nothing lean. No lawn, nothing green. No roots, no scenes. Check the date and how we relate. Since 16, 19. Been planning the great escape. Yeah, we ain't playing no more games. And we calling out the names. We ain't forgetting how they came, what they left, and what they reigned. For all the songs that were sang, just to deal with all this pain. Not theatrics or schematics, just a hint of black magic. So cover me.
Time waits for no man, no woman, no child. And that's when I cover you, cover you, cover you, cover you.
We are Black Stax.
Yes, indeed.
Duo. Myself, Felicia V. Loud, and the MC.
JCK's the MC. Right now, we're live at the Hiawatha Lofts here in the central area of Seattle, Washington, the Evergreen State.
To talk a little bit about our music, it is vibrational music. It is music that caters to all ages, caters to all rhymes, all meters, all, words, all poetry.
We take each element of music, of art, of culture, and we do our best to honor those that have gone before us. And we like to stack it on top of each other. So that's why you'll hear us say, stay staxing. It's not just about us. It's about honoring the past, preparing the present, and hopefully supplying the future with what they need to be successful in whatever journey that they choose to take in life. We got the word black in our name on purpose. We represent blackness, black man, black woman, black child, black people, and we're proud of that. I think it's acknowledged that the black artists here in the Northwest have a big contribution, but I don't necessarily think that's reflective in how the story is told through the media. We are just there to be seen necessarily and not necessarily heard. So when you're talking business, it's like, hey, come use our venue, bring people in, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, what are you giving back to the communities that are coming in support of your venue? So I think there's still some work to be done. When people started the uprising around Black Lives Matter, I said this, and I mean this still to this day. You can't scream Black Lives Matter and don't speak to me. You can't scream Black Lives Matter and walk by me and not say hello or, look into my eyes and see how I'm doing. So that type of passive aggressiveness needs to be checked and called on here in the Northwest.
There has always been a certain amount of an attack on black people. Right now, during this pandemic, while people are able to be alone, while people are able to get in their mindset and understand where they've made mistakes, now they're aware of what we've been talking about for centuries, not just years. So now the importance of our voice is being heard because people are waking up in their own way.
I was always told that in any revolution and any uprising, there's a soundtrack, and that's why the artists play such a huge role. I'd like to see more voices added to this soundtrack. There's a lot of strong voices that are not being heard, and I think this is a really good time for us all to sit back, listen, find 5 new black artists that you can listen to, and listen to their words and listen to their music and listen to their vibration and see if it connects with you.
in terms of talking to black folks as we do this interview, we all know that we're not, as Jay says, monolithic. We're not the same. We have different opinions. We have different feelings. We have different backgrounds. We are the nurturing and strength, but we can also be that ruthless inner love that says protection of family, protection of self, protection and preservation of life.
I remember a piece called I Am the Black Child, and I would tell particularly black young folks to understand who you are and the power that you have on this planet, to understand that you have a voice and it matters, to love thyself, to build, to find common ground so that we can continue to grow in a place that might not necessarily want us. And anybody else that looks down their nose at you, then you just hold your nose up and tell them, yeah, I'm that arrogant because I'm that one. I'm a black child. Thank you for having us, Shelter Fest 2020.
Shelter Fest 2020.
It's a pleasure to be a part of this conversation. It's a pleasure to share a few words, and hopefully all those listening, all those watching will take something away from this experience that they can share with somebody else to make us grow even taller. I want to give a huge, huge shout out to the one and only Nikkita Oliver for hosting today's event, for laying the groundwork and foundation for tomorrow, which I will get the pleasure and honor to host Shelter Fest tomorrow. And it's gonna be live, it's gonna be lit, it's gonna be filthy, it's gonna be dope, it's gonna be slapping. We hope you all tune in. Like I said, enjoy the music of the artists, enjoy the stories that are being told, eat some good food, and just relax, kick back, and enjoy the ride.
All right, so we rolling and we Black Stax. I'm Felicia V. Loud.
And this is my man, Jace E. Cage, the MC.
So Black Stax wants to bring to you River, produced by G. Fields. Greg Fields.
DJ Frequency, what up? Hold the town up like a trophy. Yeah, get to know me. There's no debate. We hit the scene in 78 like an old cutlass. Yeah, I bust us like an old musket, a double shot. This the start of the plot. I'm a live wire juggernaut that loves to create a buzz. Just me and my cuz, where we been and what it was. Heavily invested in daily progression. When we enter the spots, only chill in certain sections. Yeah, directions elevated. Calmly sedated, like a foreign that's highly rated and loves to take off. 66 degrees north, slide up by 5 and never get off. I bet you're running to the boss.
Come on, y'all, let me take you to the river. Dip your toe in and find the hidden figures. Watch the waves as they constantly reveal it. Feel the truth from the optical illusion. This feels like it's never heard life. This before. Hey.
My legacy is that there's no jealousy in the four family tree. We only grow the roots to tell the truth, leaving footprints in each sentence. The difference is in comprehension. The tension I feels, cause life is ill. Yeah, I deal like emotions. Devotion to religion is my spirit. Yeah, I'm only here to give it and take something away. Just a quick story to the world from SCA, to the world from SCA.
So deep, yes, we're in so deep, but we can revive ourselves. Oh,
come on, y'all, let me take you to the river.
Dip your toe in and
Find the hidden figures.
watch the waves as they constantly reveal it. Feel the truth from the
Optical illusion.
I swam so deep, my constellations made a starfish. And if I had a wish, I wish I could cast away.
Oh, come on,
Ooh, oh,
come on,
oh,
come on.
ooh, oh,
Come on,
oh,
come on,
oh,
come on.
oh. afraid. Oh,
Let's get out. Let's show out. Let's go out.
where?
By the river.
Born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, we've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but we know, yes we know, change gon' come. It's been a long time coming, but we know, change gon' come.
We go by
Yes,
the name
it
of Black
will.
Stax.
Yes, it will.
It's Felicia Loud, Jace E. Cage. Stay staxing, stay building, stay growing, stay moving. Shelterfest 2020.
That was Felicia Loud and Jace E. Cage of Black Stax, reminding us it has been a long time coming, but change is most certainly going to come. Y'all, Black people are all around us. Black artists grinding have transformed the culture, have changed the world, have brought us some of the most important inventions in history. So I thank you for being with us tonight and remembering the importance of the legacy of Black artists, Black culture, Black food, and supporting that. Tomorrow from 6 to 8 p.m., Jace will be hosting Shelterfest Seattle at shelterfestseattle.com. So please come through, support Black Stax, get their singles, River and Ghost. They're out now streaming on all platforms. And again, I just want to remind you, go stream the music of Black artists. That does a lot to at least push up the number of listens and let them know that people care about the music, that's being put out. It's so important. You can check out Black Stax at Black Stax, and Stax is spelled with an S and X. It's STAX, blackstaxmusic.com. You can find them on Instagram, Black_Stax. Again, that's with an X and not a CK. On Twitter at Black Stax, and on Facebook at black.stax. And because we're about paying our artists, you can take the amount that you would have paid at a festival. Think about how much people pay to go to Bumper Shoot each year, which we didn't do this year. So you might have some money saved up. I don't know about y'all. I bought a bunch of concert tickets at the start of the year that I didn't get to go to. So that money came back to me. I think that's a reminder to me to go check my bank account. But when I find that money is still there, I'm going to go support these artists. If you want to, slide some support to Black Stax, you can do that on PayPal through their email, blackstax, BLACKSTAX @gmail.com. So please support Black artists. Again, my name is Nikkita Oliver. I am your host. I use they, them pronouns. And today with Shelterfest, we are directly supporting Black artists and restaurant owners in the greater Seattle area. I want to give, shout outs again to all of our partners, our sponsors, our supporters. I'm not going to list all your names, but I just want to say thank you. It means so much that y'all have donated your time, your energy, your resources to make sure that we can amplify the voices, the music, the culture of Black artists and Black restaurants. Shelterfest is by the community and for the community. That's what real support looks like, real mutual aid. When we find what resources we have amongst us and we redistribute them to make sure everyone is cared for, so we not only survive this pandemic, but we come out thriving. So thank you to everyone who tuned in and supported. If you have social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, share what you enjoyed about it. Put hashtag #ShelterFestSeattle. Share the link for tomorrow. Get your friends involved. The importance of what we're doing here today, part of it is to raise money for the Seattle Artist Relief Fund, which by time we raise this next $100,000 and give to artists that are on the wait list, $1 million will have been given out to Black, Indigenous, people of color, trans and non-binary, and disabled artists in our city. And that is such a beautiful thing to make sure that our artists are thriving, because when I think about places like the Central District, it's Black artists that have made the Central District what it is. And while it's been rapidly gentrified, it's Black artists that are going to keep it what it is. And so I hope that we can keep supporting our artists. We can make sure they can come back home to the Central District, where many of the artists you heard today are born and raised, like Gifted Gab. And it's just important to make sure that our neighborhoods do not become museums of who was once there, but they remain places that people can be firmly rooted and continue to bring us the culture that makes Seattle as dope as it is. We also want to be thinking about how important it is that we talk about equity, and that we integrate equity and anti-racism work into our daily lives. Black lives matter every day. Black lives mattered before we started saying Black Lives Matter. Black lives mattered before this summer and the last 167 days of protest. This is something that has always been true and will always be true. But we also know that white supremacy is a real thing that has to be dismantled. We've seen that in this last presidential administration, but that didn't come out of nowhere. That came because we hadn't kept up doing the work of equity and anti-racism and uprooting anti-Blackness in our communities. I want to encourage folks, non-Black folks, got to be responsible for educating yourselves and addressing the disparities that have been caused by generations of systemic racism. And I want to shout out the importance of Black liberation and Native sovereignty, because I know that the experience of my Black peoples and Native peoples are inextricably interconnected here on Turtle Island. And we've got to be doing the work of not just uplifting the voices of Black peoples and Black artists, but actively being in our communities, dismantling white supremacy, dismantling anti-Blackness, and really being about this work, because it's not enough to have a Black Lives Matter yard sign on your lawn. You got to actually do the work, y'all. So Shelter Fest is fun and uplifting. It's also about addressing those serious issues. As you heard many of the interviews, people speaking to the importance of land, wealth, access, also just acknowledging all the many cultural things that Black peoples have given to this space, and knowing that, like Tiffany Wilson said at the beginning, Black artists still have not really felt what we've brought to this space. We still aren't getting the call. So please uplift Black artists. And if you haven't already, visit shelterfestseattle.com to support the Seattle Artist Relief Fund. Pay talent directly, order from Black-owned restaurants in the virtual food truck section, and follow at Shelterfest Seattle on Instagram and Facebook for updates. And if you want to know what I'm up to, you're also welcome to follow me on Instagram at Nikkita Oliver, Nikkita Oliver, or on Twitter. I love to provide updates about the movement work so many organizations are doing, like King County Equity Now, Decriminalize Seattle, COVID Mutual Aid, COVID-19 Mutual Aid. Also thinking about Morning March, Evening March, Everyday March, which is the same as Evening March, Black Action Coalition, the Engaged Team. There are so many groups that are out here holding this movement down in the streets, holding it down in council chambers, doing that policy work, holding it down in community, doing the mutual aid work that keeps us alive so we can keep thriving. And we're not done yet with Shelter Fest Seattle. We still have a whole nother day. So tune in tomorrow from 6 to 8 p.m. at shelterfestseattle.com for even more incredible performances and interviews from Clinton Fearon, Barax, Da Queen, Roby Free, Grace Love, Chef Eduardo Jordan of June Baby, and Chef Tariq Abdullah of Feed the People. Yes, Feed the People, y'all. Day 2 will be hosted by Jace of The Residency and Black Stax. And I'm just going to throw it in there because he works with Creative Justice and of Creative Justice. Shout out, CJ. And our giveaway winners will be announced at the end of the stream. So thank you again so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Go to shelterfestseattle.com to donate, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.